After the MC opened his eyes, he began to wonder who the person standing before him is. The man is confused, thinking the healer hadn't mentioned the risk of amnesia. The MC still disoriented, not knowing his own name or where he was. The man asked if the MC doesn't recognize him and introduced himself. "I am Russell," he said. Thinking back, wondering what had happened, he realized this place is clearly not Japan, and the language isn't Japanese, even though he can understand the unfamiliar words. More importantly, he felt a burning pain in his chest that had been there for a while. Concerned, Russell, the man beside him, shouted, "My lord." Apologizing, saying it was his fault for rushing him, he asked the MC not to worry, explaining that the pain is a side effect of the potion and would subside later. He told Calix that recovery would take time and that he will leave and return the next morning. As Russell left the room, Calix remained in pain, as time passing slowly. Finally, morning came, and Calix, feeling better, able to stand up and walk, he examined himself in the mirror, confirming his suspicions. This is not his body, and he doesn't even know who he is. He remembered the 30 years he had lived, yet he can't recall his own name. He wondered who he is, or rather, who the person in the mirror is. Suddenly, a window appeared before him. It is a status screen familiar to the MC. Hero's destiny? Was it possible he had been transported into the game world? He started recognizing the place. This was the main stage of Hero's destiny, the continent of Ellen. Trying to calm himself, he began examining his condition. He hit his chest, wincing from the pain, yet he hadn't woken up. Finally accepting that this isn't a dream, this is reality. He realized he needed to get used to his new name. He is now Calix Shaekin. Repeating his new name to himself, trying to familiarize himself with it. When the system window showing his player information appeared, he noticed he could open it simply by thinking, which excited him greatly. He decided the first thing he needed to do was gathering information. He knew that if he let his guard down, he could die quickly in this world. Examining the status window, he can see that he is Calix Shaekin of the Shaekin Earldom. He noticed that his territory and his family name are the same, Shaekin, meaning he is part of the Earl's direct family. He had hit the jackpot. He heard a knock on the door, which startled him. Not knowing what to do or say, he calmed himself, thinking that if they find out he is a different person, he is done for. Repeating to himself that he is Calix Shaekin, a direct descendant of the Shaekin Earl family. He finally spoke. "What is it?" he asked. It turned out to be a maid knocking on the door, telling him it is time for his medicine. Realizing she is a maid, he needs to act with dignity, telling her to come in. She entered, offering him the medicine. "Please take it while it's still warm," she said. Confused, he asked who she is, quickly realizing that was a stupid question, as it would be like admitting he isn't Calix. Not knowing what was happening, the maid worriedly asked, "Is something the matter?" He told her it was nothing, thinking he didn't need to ask as he already knew. A system window opened before him, showing her name, Lila, and other information about her. As Calix examined the window, he noticed that her affiliation is Viscount Kosharin's territory. She is not affiliated with the Shaekin family, but with Viscount Kosharin's. And on top of that, her combat power is ridiculously high, Class 3. She can't use mana but was trained like an elite special forces soldier, meaning she is one of the best of the best. And yet she is just a maid. Despite being a Shaekin noble, a maid from another household had brought him the medicine. Finding it strange, Calix thought there was no way he should drink it. He told her to just leave it there. She told him again, "Please take it," seeing that the maid was planning to force him to drink it. Calix quickly faked a pain in his chest, throwing the medicine away. But before it hit the ground, however, thinking that should do, time seemed to slow as the object plummeted. The maid, with her reflexes as sharp as a knife, with a flick of her wrist, she caught it as Calix's eyes widened in disbelief.